Hi, Ocean Room. This is Mrs. Jackson. Happy Marvelous Monday. Here is your read aloud video for today. Your comprehension skill is connect across text. Okay? Your I can statement is I can connect information I learn across a text. Connect across the text is our red pepper words. What is connect across text? When readers connect across the text, they remember what happened earlier in the text to help them understand what they are reading now. How do you connect across the text? I'm glad you asked. You asked, is there anything that I learned earlier in the text that can help me understand what I am reading now? And then why do you need to know how to connect across the text? Good readers connect across the text to help them understand the whole text. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about making connections, because that's what we're doing this week. We're making connections. So it's kind of like chains. So if you do this, that your hands are two chains because you're making a connection. What should good readers do? They use what you know earlier in the text to help you understand what you are reading now. You're making connections. So in our story today, this is what we are going to be doing. So today's story is Alvin, Ailey. Okay? Alvin, Ailey. It is written by Andrea Davis Pickney, and it's illustrated by Brian Pickney. (1942) True Vine Baptist Church. It seemed like the hottest day ever in Navasota, Texas, the small, dusty town where Alvin Ailey and his mother, Lula, lived. Blue, black flies buzzed their songs while the church bell rang. Alvin and Lula worshiped at True Vine Baptist Church every Sunday. When they arrived for services, Alvin slid into his usual seat in the first row pew. There he could watch his mother sing in the gospel choir, and Lula sure could sing. Her voice rose clear and strong as she sang the morning hymn. The men at True Vine dressed in dignified suits. The women showed off wide-brimmed hats and fanned away the Texas heat. Some cuddled powdered babies. Others hugged their Bibles. True Vine's Reverend Lewis delivered a thundering sermon. The organ rang out, followed by a bellow of tenors singing, "Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham." Sweet sopranos and tambourines joined the rousing refrain, "Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Oh, rock my soul." As they were singing, the congregation made a joyful noise. They stepped and swayed the warmth of the Spirit and raised their palms in revelation. Alvin stumped his feet and clapped his hands so hard they hurt. "Oh, rock my soul," he sang along. Alvin was going to miss the music and rejoicing at True Vine Baptist Church. Days later, Alvin rode a creaky locomotive headed west. He and Lula were going to try life in Los Angeles, California. Times had been hard in Texas. There weren't many jobs. Lula wanted a better life for Alvin. She told him there were more opportunities in the city, more ways to make a decent living. Alvin started out his window while the train rocked and lurched its way through the dry Texas land. Life in the city would be so different. So let's recap the story. Okay, and we have to remember the things that we've read so far earlier in the story. Okay, so right now, we're thinking about, is there anything that I learned early in the text that can help me understand what I'm reading right now? So right now, we are reading about a boy named Alvin, who the story started off at his Baptist church where he grew up in. And he's singing and he's clapping with the music. And it says that he's going to miss his church because now he's moving to Los Angeles with his mother for a better living. So I think he might really remember his church later down the line. What do you think, Ocean Room? All right, let's keep going. 1945 to 1947 in Los Angeles. Los Angeles was a flashy town. Lula found plenty of work. Most mornings she left their apartment on East 43rd Place before sunrise, and she didn't return home until the sun was long past setting. Alvin didn't mind though. On Saturdays and after school, he liked spending time alone, exploring the city streets. He strolled Central Avenue where nightclubs such as the Club Alabama boomed with the sounds of big band jazz, swinging music that spilled out into the street while the musicians inside rehearsed for the evening show. Alvin especially liked downtown Los Angeles, where the lights on the theater houses reflected off the pavement. There was the Orpheum Theater, the Biltmore, the Rosebud, and the Lincoln. Outside each theater, a blinking marquee announced the latest show. Pearl Bailey performing live, Billie Holiday, A Night of Blues, Duke Ellington, and his band. So right now I'm going to stop because we are talking about connect across the text. Now earlier I learned that he loves his church because of the music. So this helps me understand he loved music and dance, which is why he loved downtown Los Angeles. Let's keep reading. The men who owned the theater stacked handbills on their stoops. Each handbill announced coming attractions. Alvin collected them all. He dawdled along the sidewalk and spotted a handbill showing a black dancer, something Alvin had never seen advertised before. The paper said, "Coming soon to the Biltmore Theater, Katherine Dunham and her dancers in tropical review." Alvin looked carefully at the picture of Katherine Dunham, a beautiful dancer fluttering exotic ruffles. Katherine Dunham and her dance troupe were one of the few traveling shows in the world, with black dancers performing dances from Africa, Haiti, and Latin America. Alvin was curious. As he tucked the announcement into his pocket, he noticed Ted Crumb, a skinny boy with spindly legs, hanging out at the stage back door nearby. So I'm going to show you right now an example of what a handbill back then looked like. Handbills were kind of like flyers. So this was the one for Katherine Dunham. And here was another one. So Alvin used to go through downtown and look at these handbills being passed out. He used to collect all of them. Let's continue reading. Ted knew all kinds of things about dance. He hoped to dance on stage someday. Ted told Alvin that Katherine Dunham's afternoon show was about to start and that they could see dancing like they never seen before. Alvin and Ted crept down the alley that led to the Biltmore stage entrance. They kept quiet and out of sight. With the stage door open just so, they watched the splendor of tropical review. Katherine Dunham and her dancers swirled and lunged to the rhythms of West Indian drums. They were famous for Bahiana, a spicy Brazilian routine, and for a sizzling number called rumba, with a little jive mixed in. Alvin so danced along when he saw Katherine Dunham's style. Alvin nudged Ted. "What's that they doing?" "What is that?" he asked. "That's modern dancing," Ted said. "What's this?" said, try Catherine Dunham's Bahadiana. Alvin slapped out a beat on his knees and follows Ted's lead. Slowly, Alvin began to move. He curled his shoulders from back to front and rippled his hands like an ocean wave. He rolled his hips in an easy, steady swivel, dancing with an expression all his own. Alvin moved like a cat, smooth like a quicksilver. When he danced, happiness glowed, warm inside him. Dust crept over the city. The street lights of Central Avenue winked in one by one. Alvin made his way back to East 43rd Place. That night, Alvin told his mother he'd seen black people performing their own special dance. It was a show Alvin would never forget. So right here, I want you to think about, how does Alvin feel when he is dancing? And what is his dancing like? Well, I think he's feeling really excited as a good reader. And I feel like the moves are just starting to come up to him one by one. And I feel like he is just super excited. Let's continue on. 1949 through 1953, Lester Horton's dance school. More than anything, Alvin wanted to study dance. But when Alvin arrived in Los Angeles, not everyone could take dance lessons. In 1949, not many dance schools accepted black students, and almost none taught the fluid moves that Alvin liked so much. Almost none but the Lester Horton Dance Theater School, a modern dance school that welcomes students of all races. Lester's door was open to anyone serious about learning to dance. And at age 18, Alvin Ailey was serious, especially when he saw how Lester's dancers moved. One student, Carmen de la Valade, danced with a butterfly's grace. Another, James Truitt, made modern dance look easy, but Lester worked his students hard. Sometimes they danced all day. After hours in the studio, droplets of sweat dotted Alvin's forehead. He tingled inside, ready to try Lester's steps once more. At first, Alvin kept time to Lester's beat and followed Lester's moves. Then, Alvin's own rhythm took over, and he started creating his own steps. Alvin's tempo worked from his belly to his elbows, then oozed through his thighs and feet. What is Alvin doing? One student asked. Whatever he doing, he sure doing it fine, two dancers agreed. Some tried to follow Alvin's moves, but even Alvin didn't know which way his body would reel him next. Alvin's steps flowed from one to another. His loops and spins just came to him the way daydreams do. Now I'm going to my second point. Earlier I learned that Alvin's steps flowed from one to another. This lets me know that Alvin, not only did he love dance and music, but he was a naturally born dancer. Now, I'm going to stop here for the day. You will join me tomorrow as we continue to learn the life of Alvin Ailey. Right now, I want you to click the Google form or doc that is below and complete your exit slip. Bye.